I'm done trying in our marriage, I'm just with my wife for our kids. My wife and I have been together for 14 years, married for almost 10 years. We're from very culturally different background. I was raised in a traditional background and she's from the Midwest. I have been in the States for over 10 years now, and living in the Midwest, I have no friends, no family. It is one of the states where it is really hard to make friends if you're an outsider. I've never been very articulate, but I'll try. I just need to vent, I need to go somewhere and scream, because I am just done trying in our marriage. My wife is very passive, and I have been someone who always speak up when something has been wrong. I make enough money for both of us, and right now she works part-time hybrid job. She doesn't try in intimate, she doesn't try in our marriage to have date nights, she does the bare minimum around the house. Before we got married, I did my best to make sure she knew that she wasn't marrying me, but marrying my family. She said yes to everything and then backtracked on everything. Like what religion our kids would be raised. It was surprising, since she is not very religious, neither am I. So I just gave in to her demands. My parents are old, they live in another country. They are needy. I made sure she knew that, knew how to handle them. One of our understanding before marriage was that, since I am the only child, it would be okay for them to come visit us and stay for a few months. She said okay to that. But when that happened, I was going through some very hard and stressful time at work. She didn't care. She would bitch and moan when I would come home, which added more stress to me at that time. She then insisted that my parents couldn't visit for more than a month. It has been 5 years since I saw them. They don't want to come visit anymore because of my wife. In bed, I pretty much do everything. Once she's satisfied, she'll keep asking if I've come yet, so she can be done. Couple nights ago, she did multiple times and then kept asking me, so I just said yes and we stopped. While she says she loves me, it seems more to keep herself fulfilled and happy rather than being in a relationship. I have had several breakdowns and poured my heart out to her, to tell her exactly what has been bothering me, what I feel is missing. She'll then participate for a few days and then it just goes back to her same behavior after that. Just the other day, she did something really bad. I did not get upset, but just sighed and didn't say anything. She then looked at me and goes, "Why are you not getting mad at me?" That behavior has been her MO in our relationship. Whenever she's at fault for something, she waits until I either raise my voice in frustration or get mad and she cried, and tries to play victim. She'll always turn it around saying things like "you don't love me anymore" and pouting and being sad. This time I told her, I am done getting mad at her, because I know what she's doing and what kind of reaction she is looking from me, so she cannot take blame for anything. She is just passive. She is so much like her mother. I just can't deal with my wife anymore. I am working really hard to just be passive like her. Have this Midwest personality of letting things play out. I don't want to get a divorce because of our young kids. She used to be teacher and now works part-time admin job. I've had a very different schooling than her because we were raised in a different country. I've asked her time and time again that we should participate at home, do some more school activities 30 to 60 minutes a day when they come home. I asked her to help with that since I didn't go to school here and because she used to be a teacher. Nope. She would just let the kids have screens when they would come home so she didn't have to deal with them. Finally I bought some of those activity books for their grade at Costco, and when I come home early, I sit with them and do the activities. I expected her to be all over this, but nope. I am just going to focus on them to raise them well, save enough for them to pay for college and take care of them. I am just done. I feel like she tells me she loves me because it makes her feel better and fulfilled, because she otherwise does the bare minimum in our relationship. I just can't try anymore, I can't deal with her anymore. I am just done trying, and like they say in the Midwest, I will let it play out. Comment. Kids are a lot more perceptive than we give them credit for. My parents stayed together for the kids and I turned out worse for it. Whenever my parents spoke to each other, the tension was palpable. The venom in both of their voices always barely concealed. I grew up racked with intense guilt because I knew from the age of 6 that my sister and I were the only reason they were together. I cried and prayed every single night that my parents would get divorced, and would progressively get more and more hopeless when that prayer continued to go unanswered. It's a horrible burden to put on a child. 2 separate, happy households are better than 1 miserable one. Yup. You're setting an example for your kids for what a relationship should look like. I'm not gonna condemn you for staying if that's what you choose. Everyone's situation is unique and only you can decide what's best for you and your family. But I implore you to consider all the angles here. Do you want a loveless, unhappy marriage to be the model set for your children? Not saying leaving is easy either. But doing what's best for you may be what's best for your kids in the long run. It's worth considering. I mean, there you go. If she won't hesitate to pull the trigger when it becomes convenient, aren't you basically just waiting for her to do the thing you already know ought to happen? I don't know, kinda seems that way. But there's no rush really, you don't have to decide today, no one is in danger. Sounds like you're making progress with emotionally processing/handling the situation, so that's good. Might help to talk to a therapist, and eventually a lawyer, just to further process the possibility your marriage may be ending at some point so you don't get blindsided by it at the very least. Good luck. Well, you seem set in your actions, but I guess you should have therapy funds set up alongside their college funds, cause kids of parents who should have divorced tend to need a lot of counseling. Like, damn dude, you're describing my childhood, and let me just say my siblings and I need so much therapy and only one of us can afford it, lol. Anyways, I don't talk to my dad anymore. Also, you say you're done with the hostility? Well, your kids aren't, because they're gonna be feeling it from the both of you every damn day. Good luck op. That was my question, what is traditional? My mom was raised in the Midwest, most of both sides of my family were, but this dude says it like an insult. He sounds so insufferable that it's no wonder that his wife has checked out. The worst thing you can do is stay in a marriage because of the kids. Kids can tell when their parents aren't getting along. Do you really want your children to think that this is what a marriage is supposed to look like? My ex-husband started to become verbally abusive, and because I'd been married before, I wanted to try and work on things. When I finally kicked him out, my then 5-year-old son told me that he was glad his daddy was gone. I hadn't realized just how much he was taking in. Don't put your kids through this. As someone whose parents tried staying together for the kids, I'm telling you from personal experience that it can be more damaging than splitting up. The relationship you model for them becomes their template for what a relationship should look like. And maybe you think you hide it well around your kids, but they know. Trust me, they know. Story 2. I'm dating my ex's mom. Edit. One of my message requests was telling me that me dating my ex's mom wasn't the issue, it's the fact that I was having intimate out of wedlock LMAO. My 23 ex-girlfriend, 22, and I dated for 3 years before I caught her having intimate with a mutual friend at a hotel when she claimed she was working late around a year ago. I work as a waiter, and during dinner around a month ago, her mom, 46 I think, came in with a group of 3, ex wasn't present, it was her and 2 of her colleagues, and we instantly recognized each other. We had a very good relationship, and she was heartbroken for me when she learned what happened between me and ex. I served them their meal and she left her phone number along with a generous $20 tip for herself, saying that if I need someone to talk to, give her a call. I did call her later that night just to check in on how she and her dogs Minnie and Penny are. They're both schnauzers and I got close with them. We chatted for hours on the phone, catching up, when she asked me if I wanted to grab lunch later that week. I said sure, and we hung up. That lunch date turned into a movie date later on, which ended up having intimate at her house, and we've been dating ever since. Ex knows and absolutely hates it, but her mom doesn't care, as their relationship went into the gutter when ex cheated on me. I originally wanted this to stay casual, but I think I'm catching feelings for her. One thing I know for sure is that her dogs sure missed my attention, and I miss them dearly too. Edit, because I forgot to add some stuff. She's divorced, her husband was a cheater as well, so like father like daughter. She's a big nerd like I am, her favorite series of all time is Lord of the Rings, which is what we watched the other night. Rewording how I had my second update now that I've calmed down. She sent me a text not even 30 minutes ago saying she felt something between us and wanted to explore it further. I am on cloud 9 right now. For those asking why am I doing this for revenge, I'm not. This has never been about revenge, that ship has sailed long ago. I don't even despise ex anymore. Comment. It's not unbelievable, young moms having shoddy relationships with their daughters are kinda on brand many times. We'll say though that's a big age gap. This woman will be 60-something soon while you're still young. Just keep in mind, can you see yourself navigating how the relationship evolves as time goes on? Also, if you do want to have children, obviously that's something to think about. Just know you have some outs in terms of how your relationship is framed. Ex you over bad, you're young, shit was served to you on a silver platter to take. The mom? The mom is not a good person. I'm sorry, she can be sweet to you and you might be falling in love, but no matter how shitty her daughter is her daughter's ex-BF, and knowing the age gap she is old enough to have a moral compass for this and it is broken. But in 14 YRS he will only be 34, still young. I don't think this will last. It's a novelty, and a great way to stick it to someone these don't particularly like at the moment. But the novelty will fade soon enough. When his friends want to go clubbing or drinking and don't want a 40-something along. Or when others start judging, and it puts a strain on the relationship. Or when the mom has to pay for dates and other things because he's a 22-year-old waiter with not much of an income. Or when a young 20-something shows him some interest. I don't think many 22-year-olds think about having kids. That's not what will end this, but there is a whole lot of other things that will. Sorry, got the age wrong. And the way he's responding to comments, this kid might think it's long-term. He's still very young. And there is a power imbalance in the relationship, so I could see him being manipulated for a while, until he comes to some realizations on his own. Maybe. But I'd personally question the morality of a mother who would sleep with her daughter's ex. It isn't just her ex and yours are cheaters. That daughter grew up with her mother too. And then she saw you at a night out and gave her number to you and y'all started dating? Seems not like a great mom thing to do. However, her daughter's relationship ended. I kind of question yours too. I mean, why date someone who gave birth to your long-term ex-girlfriend? Just fully irrational behavior to me. This mother definitely has issues with her daughter outside of the cheating. Sometimes moms see their daughters as competition. If that's the case here, the mom is riding high right now. I know he's an adult, but it almost has a grooming vibe. She knows what happened, knows he's vulnerable, she saw her opportunity and took it. I completely agree. I'm shocked I had to scroll down so far to find this comment. And the amount of comments cheering it on extremely grosses me out. Why would a mother date her daughter's ex? I think it's very creepy. I feel as if the mom saw how heartbroken Op was and decided to prey on that.